here today. It's can GrlyTeenQueen just destroy all of New England Steves?
Right.
Not too confident going into this one, as we heard from GrlyTeenQueen a little bit earlier. Has never taken a set off of Antimony, but honestly, you've had the Steve warm-up, so maybe something can happen. But I think my favorite thing when it comes to watching different Steves, I think I said this a little bit earlier, every Steve is going to play a little bit differently.
Right.
I think Antimony compared to Just Blue is a little bit more aggressive. So I'm interested to see, more of, the aerial combos, just building blocks. I want to see where we're going to go because I feel like stage is going to be really important here.
Very true, very true.
But I don't know. How do you feel about the matchup?
I think it's going to be interesting because, as you mentioned, Antimony may have a little bit more of, a few aggressive tendencies,
Sure.
to be polite. But one of the things that was so interesting to see in the last set with GrlyTeenQueen and Just Blue, the witch times were wonderful.
Absolutely.
Right? So if that aggressiveness becomes more predictable or more regular, we may see some extended punishes, even beyond what we saw in that previous set, because GrlyTeenQueen has these strings that we've seen turn into all sorts of different vertical combos, horizontal combos, early stocks, edge guards. So you don't want to really get caught up in those, and a terrible way to get caught up in them is with the bats within. So
I just love how production just took a selfie. Everybody in production production just taking a selfie while we're working.
That's fine. We didn't have to move the scene or anything.
No, both players getting ready to go here will be Antimony here representing New England. We've seen a lot of New England versus Tri-State today.
Yeah, it's the joy of these larger regionals. Is Tri-State's great region. They usually make it far, and the top cut, whatever it may be, always ends up being such a good show of a little bit of hometown hero versus a little bit of out of town invader. So Here we see GrlyTeenQueen kind of taking it slow, which we saw in the early stages of the Just Blue set as well.
Yeah, and I think when you're going up against somebody who you've literally said that you've never beaten before, I think that's how you're going to want to kind of approach this, right? Just playing a little bit more reserved, trying to find your marks, and then kind of letting it go, right? And this is something that I praised GrlyTeenQueen for a little bit earlier in the day as well, saying, you know what, finding my combo, then recognizing that the combo's gone and not pushing it forward a little bit more. But the problem is you're going up against Antimony, who I think the strings at least are a little bit more kind of on what I like to call the creative mode side, right? Yeah. Where we're kind of just making stuff up as we go. But like you said earlier, AG, the witch times from this player have been fantastic today. So I really want to see how GrlyTeenQueen uses that to get around some of Antimony's tricks.
Well, there's a lot of tricks to get around. We already saw the up special from the ledge, threatening a combo, but still some good damage. I love the work around that anvil. Did we get a forward here too? Oh my goodness. That was so slick.
Honestly, if I'm GrlyTeenQueen, now I'm like, all right, I'm up a stock. Let me see what I can do now. But the thing is, Antimony going to, and one of the things that I like about Antimony Steve and a lot of other aggressive Steves, they don't care what tool they have. They're going to just start wailing on the A button. You know what I mean? They're going to just start grabbing this damage here. But honestly, from GrlyTeenQueen, we've seen just such a reserved neutral that it's really worked out for them really well. I mean, they get scooped up, they lose stocks, right? But I feel like they're also playing it so extremely patiently that they're not losing stocks too often based off of just negligence or playing a little bit more just uncareful.
Yeah.
Sometimes anvils just fall on you. That's just the game.
Yeah, it's just the world, the Smash characters live in. It's a little Looney Tunes sometimes, but par for the course.
True. And
already firing back big damage coming in from those diamond tools and the anvil as well in that throw. But GrlyTeenQueen, just a few specials really rack on the damage here. We're probably going to go over 100 here. Yup. Love that.
Not enough to take the KO, but honestly, this is reliable damage, and GrlyTeenQueen has not taken too much damage here. Now, granted, it is Steve. Antimony going to get the scoop up, but the bats within going to save, at least from the first part of the diamond combo. Now, Antimony finally going to be able to get something set up here, at least for the moment. Gets scooped out by the diamond again, but bats within once more. GrlyTeenQueen, the stocks have been durable on GrlyTeenQueen's side, but the thing is, we need to see a finisher right now, but waits out the F smash, finds the back air. It's not going to be enough just yet, but I love the way how we're always threatening the guns, recognizing, it's not going to happen. Let me just go on in, but bounces off the side. That gives Antimony some time to set up, but I feel like Antimony's trying to get a little bit too cute. I feel like we can play a little bit more aggressively at the ledge here.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of go for an edge guard or just set up some interesting little mechanisms, and right there we saw what was functionally a ledge trap just on stage. Antimony sneaking in the grab, getting the up throw. But still kind of putting so many different things together here. We see the blocks kind of working out to break up the combos here. Even if they don't necessarily help out Antimony offensively, they still are doing wonders defensively too. So.
Absolutely finds the dash attack just into the straight raw F smash. Not going to be enough just yet though. And I love how Antimony always so willing to just go out there. But nothing scarier when Steve is just standing there. Exactly. But it will be GrlyTeenQueen finding a loop-de-loop and pull on the back air here. And now it's last stock, but GrlyTeenQueen going to be down here, so we have to find that opening Bayonetta combo, but we also have to press advantage here because honestly, this is where Antimony wants to be, right? Up about 81%, doesn't really have to force the issue here and can just get the materials back as they see fit.
Yeah, and pretty interesting here. I'm loving the dynamic that we're seeing of like the minecart being this kind of like mid-range command grab. If Bayo does use a lot of these special moves and gets caught in that sort of special cooldown, Antimony has like a great response with the minecart into a combo, but it doesn't really work if, you know, she also gets her special dodge. Oh wow, this could be a big opportunity here. I love that. That was so smart.
It's always the wait, AG. It's always just a player willing to wait and to see how you crack, what moves you like to use specifically in high pressure situations. Going to pick it up with the witch twist up and then just going to let the combo go. Once again, you're at 123 now. It's played very safely, but going to jump over the wall here, trying to find the witch twist up. A great SDI from Antimony to get out of this situation, but just going to take the minecart down. But Antimony once more just going to find that runoff fair and really good stuff. But that came down to the wire.
Yes, yeah, and it came down to some very interesting trickery as well. Antimony really good at kind of forcing the issue with the regrabs on the minecart, just hopping in, jumping back out to kind of reissue that command grab that we saw right there, and has all the time in the world to go down for what is the essentially second punish of that grab right there. So really good stuff from Antimony. Like I said, that kind of mid-range where usually Bayo feels fine and comfortable is constantly threatened if there is just one pip of iron in the meter for Antimony. We're going to have to see some adjustments, and it's going to happen back on Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, right, like, it came down to just a couple of reversals at neutral, and that's where GrlyTeenQueen unfortunately faltered here. But, I mean, Antimony now with a huge material bar, but it doesn't seem to phase GrlyTeenQueen at all. Great parries, though, from Antimony. These are huge, right? Because you want to stop Bayonetta from getting your 40% combos off the rip. Right. And honestly, it's working out so well. And these are these deadly up tilts coming out from Antimony, and already has a diamond about 30 seconds into the game. And you know Antimony wants to push this issue.
Yeah, we already saw a forward smash at 50-ish.
Yeah.
Almost take the stock last game. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw one right there. And usually you can jump and dodge out of that sort of witch time situation, but if you're not ready for it, GrlyTeenQueen has just a little bit of time to punish and going for something crazy right there. Yeah,
sometimes in Smash Ultimate, you love just the freestyling of a lot of combos, right? And you just get a little bit more creative here. But it will be GrlyTeenQueen getting scooped up by the minecart. Honestly, when you're scooped up by this minecart, the best thing you can do is just like trade out of it, right? Like, sure, you get hit, but as long as you don't lose the stock, things aren't going too poorly here. But Antimony at 140, there is the witch time, but unfortunately it's the wrong way. Still will be able to pick up at least a backer, but it's not going to be enough to take the stock just yet. Antimony, I love the patience here, recognizing, you know what, you are waiting for me to jump in or run in. I'm just going to get my dash attack and set up for an edge guard here.
Oh my goodness, back throw's not going to do it, unfortunately. Forward throw probably would have been better, but didn't have the time. And see here, okay, there's that weight you were talking about, and what crazy. A showcase.
Yeah, honestly, like, doesn't get the stock right, but that's just a, hey, I'm in your head, right. I'm okay, like, you're at higher percent than I am. There's the back throw, just to maybe mix up the DI. Still, they're not going to be able to find anything, but going to grab Bayonetta literally out of the sky here, find that up throw. Antimony going up in game number 2, but honestly, if I'm Antimony, while a lot of players would probably just sit back into the corner and wait for Bayonetta to come to them, I really like how Antimony just said, you know what, I'm going to get some damage before I go, because I have a diamond and I'm not afraid to use it.
Right, might as well use this one. I have one built up. Okay, big opportunity here. Actually goes off stage, which I think was better for GrlyTeenQueen. Don't want to get bounced off the stage, and you're Bayo, you're making it back. Good kind of presence of mind if there was any decision involved. And look at that Bats Within coming in clutch one more time.
Honestly, the placement from Bats Within has been really solid practically this entire set. and just from GrlyTeenQueen all day here. But heel slide trying to find a pickup here, but Antimony wanting no part of it, just going to get some materials back here. And now it's all GrlyTeenQueen. I love that. Just the weights. The weights are always so good because I feel like players, that shows how composed a player is at this point. There's the spike though, and with Diamond Pickaxe, you're definitely not coming back from that. And Antimony has been doing like this very confident, slow chip on GrlyTeenQueen this entire set. I feel like we've been talking so much about GrlyTeenQueen, but Antimony holding so strong right now, playing so extremely well.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I saw the first minute or so of game 1, thinking GrlyTeenQueen said, I've never beaten Antimony. All you're doing right now is beating Antimony. And then something shifted, and now another big swing on that regular get-up. Antimony taking that one with a 2-stock and looking even more confident than game 1.
Absolutely. Winner of this will be going on into losers finals as well. So Leviathan waiting to see who he's going to end up playing here. Could be, and honestly, if Antimony does win this, this is to see who the New England representative will be to fighting DeBuzz in grand finals here. If I'm GrlyTeenQueen, I want to get off PS2, but honestly, looking at the bans on the stage, shout out to production for that, by the way, banning Small Battlefield is a really good choice here from Antimony. Now, granted, I think it's a good spot. It's a good spot for Steve, too, but you're essentially just limiting I almost said Teju's, GrlyTeenQueen to all of these big stages where you don't really have like too much of a disadvantage. And while Pokemon Stadium 2 is a very comfortable stage for especially Tri-State players because we don't really go anywhere else, this is a great stage for Steve too because we've seen it from Antimony's play. Tons of time to just go back and reset.
Right. Pretty good roster of resources as well. You know, you have so many different opportunities here. Like, once you use your dirt and wood, like, your resource bar looks so much more difficult for characters like Bayonetta to get through. When you have a bunch of stone and iron, it takes, like we saw, so many hits to kind of get around that wall. You almost usually end up conceding and just jumping. But when Antimony's ready to punish that, then it gets much worse for a different reason. And look at that string. 99, just over 100 with the magnifying glass too. Antimony priming to take the stock, but takes a break instead.
I feel like in all 3 games that we've seen so far, it's always been GrlyTeenQueen saying, you know what, hey, I have combos. I am great. Like, I have all this damage stacked up on you. This feels great. And then Antimony's like, hey, you make one mistake here. And then Steve gets that consistent damage that we've always seen. And now Bayonetta without Rage. We're not going to see that back air KO. I like to jump over the minecart, though. I feel like you need to respect that minecart, even when you feel like it's just had enough. I mean, that active hitbox in general can just mess up everything here. And now Antimony once more still approaching, right? Respecting the fact that GrlyTeenQueen can absolutely find a back air here, but using all of these, like the Rage, using the tools here, and the down smash as well to even get the stock. Antimony up 3 stocks to 1.
The thing that's interesting too is you said like Antimony approaching, but it's this like weird mix of like run up to bait out ABK, punish the ABK. So it's like a half approaching and then half kind of playing reactive. And 3 times in a row, functionally, GrlyTeenQueen just kind of got punished for it. And now we see another grab here. Pretty good way to set up some pressure off the side here. But ABK to start it up. And that wait we saw, though, a little bit longer than you would have hoped for.
That's the thing, right? Especially with Steve, right? You can wait out just one option, get one jab, and even with Diamond, that actually does a fair amount of damage. Definitely not the worst thing in the world, but once again, if I have to praise something for GrlyTeenQueen this set, and I think from every set that we've seen GrlyTeenQueen, the bats within placement have been phenomenal. We saw it in Stock 1 especially, where they saw Anvil drop, and they still were able to really kind of get things going here. Going for the explosion on TNT, just barely whiffing on GrlyTeenQueen.
Such a good idea.
There we go. Which time, though, we have to find a stock now. It's definitely not over if we find the stock literally right now. But then Antimony just going to go back, get some more materials, and this is looking really hard for GrlyTeenQueen.
Well, I was going to say, you got to watch out for that minecart. That was so brave to just sit so close to it. Okay, parry clanks, actually. The second hit up till going to be the back air that takes it, though.
Not over just yet. I mean, last stock here, but I mean, Antimony, no stress at this point, right? Saying, you know what? No. Yeah, you have to be the one who's careful, not
She's
necessarily
chilling.
me.
Like, look at got a little hut too. Like, okay.
I always love to see the way that Steve's like kind of like master architecture in this game, right? Like, what is your most optimal like standing of water, especially like when you fight on like a wool stage?
Right.
It's like, oh my god. Still though, this is a really great spot if you're Antimony, but I mean, GrlyTeenQueen can absolutely make something happen here. He just has to find the mark, and that is a tall order when the fishing rod goes all the way out to the last pixel here. And Antimony, all they really have to do is just find that opening mark, but here comes GrlyTeenQueen going all the way up, a great DI out. Antimony still, though, will not get caught up by Witch Time, but here we go. GrlyTeenQueen trying to go all the way up, and Antimony so smart with how they get out. There's the up throw, there's the star KO, and there's Antimony moving on into losers finals. GrlyTeenQueen going to be out at 4th, but a very respectable 4th.
Very respectable 4th. I loved that little string that we saw at the end, and it could have been it, but
yeah, absolutely.
Once that aerial didn't land, it was so rough to kind of try and get that momentum back after what felt like the defining moment turned into just falling short. But great composure. I love the game plan adjustments that we've seen like throughout the day and throughout that set.
Yeah.
The reactive play, the sort of like baiting of defensive options, all looks so good. I can't wait to see some more implementations of that. But we will have to wait for another tournament to see some advancements because we are moving on to losers finals.
After the interview with Weimer, that's ready to go, actually.
I was going to lead him in, but let's hear from Weimer.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the sideline. We've got Antimony, winner of that last set. Antimony, it's been a long day, and you've got 2 people left in your way. How are you feeling at this point?
I'm feeling tired, but I've been playing very good today, so I'm hoping to keep it going as long as I can.
Sure thing. You fought both these people, at least recently. You fought the Buzz today, and you've got Leviathan sets on recent history. Got to get through Leviathan first. What's going through your head right now?
Well, Leviathan's my demon, who I've never really been able to take a real set off of, so, you know, I'm not going in with the best mindset, but, you know, just got to play my best. Whatever happens, happens. Just give it my best.
Any ideas on how to maybe fight that, or are you just going in like, whatever happens, happens, and that's all right?
Camp as much as possible. That's all I got.
Hey, it's a strat, and whatever works, works. Before we send you back up there, anything else you want to say to the audience?
Not really.
All right. Well, in that case, Lyric, AG, back to you guys. I hear you laughing back there.
Thank you, Weimer. Amazing work as always. Really just really getting a lot of information, knowledge, personality from everyone over at the sideline. I am loving Weimer's addition to the cast.